Hey Techno Studs, we set up a couple wireless LANs, but now let's finish this off. Let's configure the rest of our network to how we would set it up out there in the real world. And so we're going to set this up, and it's going to be the configuration that we're going to have from here till the end of this course. From a wireless perspective, we've already set up a couple of these wireless LANs. We set up one for this management VLAN that we have right here. We have not set one up for this server yet, and I don't really want it. There's not really a reason for me to have a wireless network for my servers. So because of that, I'm not going to set one up for that. Then we have the execs, which we have already set up in a prior video. I'm going to keep those settings for now. Then we have the ops network and the sales network. So in this video, we're going to set up the ops and sales network. And then I'm not a big fan of keeping this management wireless network up and running. So we're going to disable that. And then finally, we have this 150 voice VLAN, and I'm not going to be connecting phones to this wireless network, so I don't need that either. So once again, we'll set up 40 and 50, and then we'll disable 10. Well, disabling it is pretty easy, so let's do that first. I'm going to make sure I'm not connected to it, so I'll disconnect to that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my wireless LANs, and we will come in here, and I just want to disable it. So I'm going to select this one, uncheck enabled, and hit apply. And now no one can connect to this network. It gives me the added advantage too, that if I ever do need to connect wirelessly to this network, all I need to do is come in here and checkbox this enabled, and then this will be working for me. So I can use it in a pinch if I need to come on here and do some connecting to this via the wireless network. All right, so there we have that one. Okay, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to create these networks for the 40 and 50 for ops and sales. So I'm going to go to my controller, and I need to go to interfaces, and this is where I'm going to need to start out by setting these up. So I'm going to select new, and the interface, we're going to call this ops, and the VLAN ID is going to be 40. So we'll click on apply, and then we'll go and do the configuration of this. So let's see, we'll go to VLAN identifier 40, that's correct. The IP address of this interface will be, we'll say 10.1.40.5, and I'll need to make sure I record that. So I'm going to go over here to my VLAN 40 and say 10.1.40.5, and it's the wireless LAN controller. And I might as well make a record of it for this other one too, because we're going to configure that here in a second as well. Okay, so then we go down to the interface 10.1.40.5. Okay, I got that. Network mask, all right. Gateway, and the gateway is going to be 10.1.40.1. The DHCP server is going to be 10.1.40.1. We don't have a secondary, and we're going to enable this. So there we have that. And then we will click on apply for this. And primary and backup ports cannot be the same. Primary and backup, this is port 1, and the backup port is 0. So hit apply. Okay, and there we have it. All right, we can hit back on this, and we're going to create one more. And this one is going to be for the sales network, and the VLAN ID for that is 50. I'm going to hit apply on that, and we will The port is 1, the backup port will be 0. It's the VLAN identifier is 50. The network for this is 10.1.40.5. Actually, it's 50.5. And the network mask is 255.255.255.0. The gateway is going to be 10.1.50.1. And the primary DHCP server is 10.1.50.5. Excuse me, it's 50.1. It's going to be that layer 3. And I'm just going to check that other one to make sure I did configure that correctly. So there, we've configured all of that. I'm going to hit apply, OK. And now we'll go back. I just want to check that ops network and make sure that I did do the right one. Yes, I did do the right one there. So we're good. We're good. Okay, so now I've got all of these VLANs set up. They're the different interfaces, but it's set up with the different VLAN identifiers. Now I'm going to go to the wireless LAN, and we're going to configure those as well. So in here, what I'm going to do is create a new one. So I'll hit go. And we're going to call this Ops Wireless. And I'm going to give it the same SSID. We'll hit apply on here. And then for security, we're going to uncheck this 802.1x. I'm going to select the pass key. And here I've already, if you can see right here, I've got them already configured in my key pass. So I'm doing ops now. I'm going to copy the password of that and paste it into here. And we can apply this. We do need to make sure it's enabled. The one other thing that I do need to do with this is the interface here it's specified to the management interface. I do need to select the proper interface. So this one's ops here. I'm going to hit apply to that. And then we're going to create one more. And this is going to be for our sales. So let me do sales wireless. I'm going to copy that, paste it into here, hit apply. Going to go to security, uncheck 802.1x, and we're going to do passkey instead. I'll copy that from my key pass, paste it into here. Make sure that takes. Going to enable that, hit apply again. I need to select the proper interface, hit apply, and OK. Now we're ready to test this out. So let's see how successful we were with creating these. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my ops here and connect to my ops and let that do its thing. And I'll pull up a command prompt. So I'm going to do a CMD and type in ipconfig. And we see that it connects to 10.1.40.50. So I am making a connection and it's getting the proper IP address to the ops network. The next thing I'm going to do is connect to the sales. I'm just going to copy my password here. I'm going to disconnect from ops and then we will connect to the sales department. So connect to there, paste our password into there. Next, nope. Let it do its thing again. I'll bring up a command prompt here, ipconfig, and we got 10.1.50.50. Aha! So we set them all up and correct. It seems like we're getting the proper IP addresses, and now all I need to do is if I want a client, one of my users to be able to get onto these networks, they'll just need that passkey to be able to get them on. So we've got it all set up.